Hi, it's Dwyer, GamblersAdvisory.com, with some thoughts on some updates in the Amir appeal of his loss to Lamont Peterson. Now, as fight fans know, Amir is claiming that there was a mystery man who was bothering the judges during his fight against Lamont Peterson, right? And that this mystery man somehow was part of some kind of effort to distort the scoring in the fight. And that somehow there was some interference someplace that deprived him of a victory. I think fight fans can figure out which stories are real and which stories are fake, right? What's truth and what's agenda-driven politics. Well, we're finding out now that this mystery man, apparently Mustafa Amin, was actually not a mystery to Freddie Roach, Amir Khan's trainer, because of course Freddie Roach knew Mr. Amin, who had been at Freddie Roach's wildcard gym. In other words, the entire public narrative that we're hearing now about some mystery man and some kind of murky situation is ridiculous, because the night of the fight, Freddie Roach knew who this man was. The only reason he's being called a mystery man is to sell a tall tale to the public. Let me point out, too, that judges don't sit together. They literally sit on different sides of the ring. And so interfering with their scoring isn't as simple as leaning over the shoulder of a group of judges and then trying to sprout misinformation. Let me also point out, too, that you should be aware of the evidence that's lacking in this appeal, right? Not one judge has come out and said that any scoring in any round on their scorecard was impacted in any way by this mystery man, who apparently wasn't a mystery to Freddie Roach, right? I mean, just that simple. Not one judge, not one, has said that they scored around differently because of this mystery man. Also, the BBC is reporting that round 7 on one of the judges' scorecards looked like it had been changed. Well, understand, there is no evidence that anybody other than the judge changed his own scorecard. Keep in mind, you have to turn in your scoring after every round. You can't wait till the end of the fight and then reconstruct your scorecard to favor one fighter or the other. Also, if you look at the infamous scorecard, and there are BBC articles that have the judge's scorecard in the article, you'll actually see that it's clear that the judge made a mistake, right? Because, of course, there are markings in both columns. He scores it 10-8 for Lamont Peterson. We could all look at the 7th round and ask ourselves whether or not, it was meant to be scored a different way. More importantly, since each of the judges are still alive, and since we know which judge turned in which scorecard, it seems like it would be simple enough to simply ask the judge, what did you intend to enter for the 7th round, and why the change, right? And so I don't believe the judge's scorecard was altered. I certainly don't believe that a guy's a mystery who Freddie Roach admits to knowing and who visited Freddie Roach's wildcard gym. By the way, the same wildcard gym at which Amir Khan trains, right? This story seems to be total fiction, let me just point out that there's some battles that you don't want to win, right? You don't want to be the fighter who forces the sanctioning body to undo a close decision that went against you, and then have fans looking at your record and saying, gee, this guy's a sore loser. Not only that, this guy's rhetoric, his claim about deserving a rematch doesn't match his own actions, since he hasn't given Breeders Prescott a rematch. The Paul McCluskey fight was questionable. The Marcus Maidana fight, where's that rematch? Right? All I could say about Amir Khan is, if the WBA does follow through, I think they have a formal hearing coming up. I know a WBA vice president has said that he believes that this should be, undone, or at a minimum that a rematch should be ordered. Understand that the IBF, an independent body, might well disagree with that political decision and might say, no, we're not ordering a rematch. Lamont Peterson is our champion, right? What you would then have would be Amir Khan getting a belt and a whole group of the public believing that he lost the fight with Peterson and got the belt because he's affiliated with Golden Boy, right? That's not what you want. I think Khan would be better off, quite frankly, by just declaring war on the 140 and 140 pound divisions, doing it old school style, showing up to weigh-ins, showing up to people's fights, calling out the biggest names. Timothy Bradley, who now says that he wants to fight Khan, and of course, now that Bradley has cleared up his promotional problems, Khan's not calling out Bradley anymore. Isn't that curious? How about calling out Marcus Maidana? You fought him, you beat him, allegedly. He's still fighting. Why not calling him out? What about Devin Alexander? Call out guys. Show up at the Ortiz-Berto fight. That's at 147. You claim you want to fight at 147, right? Why not show up at that fight and then beg the winner to fight you? If the winner won't, beg the loser to fight you. Because, of course, both of those guys have had the belt at 147. That's the way you get fans' respect. But when you're claiming a guy's a mystery man that your corner admits they knew who he was before the fight, and when that guy, Mustafa Amin, goes on Facebook and says that he would never do anything to harm his Muslim brother Amir Khan, this story smells. All I could say to fight fans is there's a lot of spin in boxing. You're witnessing some of that spin firsthand. Let's see where this story goes. If Amir Khan is smart, I believe he backs away from the appeal, tries to regain his title without the politics, right? If he isn't that savvy, then he and his people are then going to try to politic with, the IBF next to try to get them to order a rematch. And keep in mind, the whole thing might be academic because bigger names, Manny Pacquiao, Floyd Mayweather, they might well say, hey, I'll fight you, Lamont Peterson, just like Vitaly Klitschko has done for Derek Chisora, right? If you're Amir Khan, you don't want to be Robert Helenius, a guy with a title. Helenius is the European title that no one cares about because they know he didn't earn that title in the ring. Let me know what you think. This story is getting more ridiculous by the day. The mystery man at the wildcard gym, think about how ridiculous that is, right? What's the mystery about someone you already know? Ridiculous. Let me know what you think. Leave your comments for me here on YouTube. Visit us at theboxinggame.blogspot.com. Thanks for watching.